Porch concert series?
I missed the last one.
Okay. I need one moment, excuse me here. Okay. The Municipal Planning Commission meeting for July 10th, 2025 will now come to order. Mrs. Blankenhorn, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Starr.
Here.
Mr. Sawyers.
Here.
Mrs. Ellsworth.
Here.
Mr. Hawkins.
Here.
Mr. Swallow.
Here.
Mr. Deal. Mr. West.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Just to review, I read this before every Municipal Planning Commission meeting. As a reminder here to all here today, the purpose of the Municipal Planning Commission is to balance the public good with the private property rights and interests. Also, the Commission carries out all other powers and duties conferred upon it by the City of Mount Vernon's zoning ordinance or other city ordinances and the laws of the state of Ohio. This is a public meeting and there are rules of decorum we follow. We are committed to the democratic process, individual rights of expression, robust debate, and tolerance for different viewpoints. Following general rules of civility are expected, including addressing others in a respectful manner. No insulting, personal attacks, intimidating, or offensive communications, no harassment, no willful destruction or damage of property, and no disruptive behavior. Please silence your cell phones if you have them in the audience. We don't want any disruptions, and so if you have those, please take care of those. Any other electronic devices as well. If you need to come and go throughout the meeting, you can do that. Just please do so in the least disruptive manner possible. And if you are offering public comment today, you must first be sworn in by reading the statement that we have at the lectern there. We'd like you to keep your comments to 4 minutes if possible, unless we have questions for you or you're describing the project itself. And again, the purpose of this commission is to oversee that the law is followed and planning occurs within which the spirit of those laws and regulations have been adopted by the City of Mount Vernon and the state of Ohio. So just to set the tone here, we've called the meeting to order. We have in your packets, commission members, were the Municipal Planning Commission meeting minutes from our regular meeting in March 13th, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion for their approval.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Any abstentions? They are approved. We have one item of business this afternoon, 2025 MPC-03. Mrs. Blankenhorn, will you please read the item and then we'll get started.
2025 MPC-03, a vacation petition for an undeveloped platted alley between Vine Street, Oak Street, Boynton Street, and Duke Street.
Good. Okay, and who is going to be presenting on this matter? Anyone? Now, if you would come up there and state your name, where you're from, and read that swearing-in statement, that would be lovely.
My name is Kathy Geppinger. My address is 1000 East Vine Street, Mount Vernon, Ohio. And I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
Welcome. Thank you. You want to explain what you're asking the commission to do?
Basically, my husband John and I are requesting that an alley that divides the property that we own and reside on be vacated for our ownership.
You can see the graphic up on the screen then too, and we have printouts of this as well. So, how is you own part of that currently, or what?
The property we live on, and then there's the alley, and then we own another segment of property. So it's in between the parcels that we own.
The vacation is in the red highlight is what we're talking about then. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, okay, good. Any questions from the commission? Okay. Is there any other details we should know about?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I do have one question. Is there something that's, I mean, other than just that it's annoying, is there something that's causing it now that you want to do it? Or, yeah, I can't imagine you're going to develop a whole lot since you're butting up against the neighbor there, but is there, just curious as to the why?
We're just at a time in our life that if we get ready to sell, we just kind of want to have ducks in a row and just have everything for the record. And we just feel that it's better to always have ownership of property that adjoins yours as much as possible. And we just never took care of it when we moved there 30 some years ago, I think because we were just younger and raising kids and other priorities. But now we're just trying to, I guess it's on the bucket list.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Any other questions for Mrs. Geppinger? Okay. Thank you. You see, we have your neighbors who are here too. I assume Mr. or Mrs. Curry, you would like to speak about this matter as well?
Yes, I would.
Would you please come up there and we'll have you read the statement there
I'm George Curry, my wife Sherry. We live at 1008 East Vine. We abut the Geppingers on the same side of the street. The alley is between them and us. Let's see, I give you my name. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury. What I would like to say is, I have lived at 1008 East Vine for 50 years. That alley has never even came up in a question, and I don't think the previous owners, the Bakers, way back, even knew an alley existed. You can see by the description, there's a series of pine trees. There were 2 walnut trees right on the property line that we just now took down. I don't see a need for opening that alley to nowhere. There's no Boynton Street back there. It's center run. The only affected parties would be the Geppingers and us, and I don't see the need to access an alley going to the west, as far as I know. The Geppingers have been good neighbors. We've raised the kids together on those 2 properties. It's kind of like a park if you've been out East Vine. They own about an acre, I own about an acre, clear back to the creek. We put up with the flood in '98 and reestablished that. And I don't see a need to keep this alley open, and I request that it be vacated. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Curry? Okay, no, good. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak on this matter, either for or against or in general? Okay, then I will ask, let me go through my checklist here, I'm sorry. Mrs. Blankenhorn, did you receive any communications either through telephone calls or emails or anybody stopping in?
I did not receive any communications.
Okay. Mr. Ball, do you see any, are there any utilities
Yeah,
that we need to worry about here?
No, this, I mean, I think it's sort of like part of it was already vacated, maybe the right side, because they, yeah, but there are no utilities, no city utilities in that strip of land.
Okay. Is this, let me ask, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Does this help clean up the property lines, Rob, do you think?
Well,
Mr. Klein?
there are some bigger problems, I think, unfortunately. I made the mistake of pulling their deed, and the deed says that it deals with, it refers to the plat. And then I pulled the plat, which was recorded in the 1870s. And there is an alley in there, and I'm just not quite sure where it is because the survey that came with their motion to vacate is not consistent with the plat. And so I think that they should be allowed to vacate the alley. I'm just not sure where it is based upon the survey that they provided which is not consistent with the plat. Because the plat has the width of their property at 141 feet and 9 inches. The survey, which would include both the alley plus this piece that's beyond the alley at 143 feet and a half an inch, basically, or 51/100ths of an inch. The original plat shows the alley to the east of their property, between theirs and that. And so I'm not sure why there's such a discrepancy between the survey that they provided and the original plat.
How much in terms of feet are we off in terms, we're not,
Well, assuming the plat is correct, and that starting from here, it should run from here to about here would be their property, and then the alley would start here, which seems, I'm just telling you what's on the plat. And so, because the plat and this the legal description that you got from the surveyor are so out of sync, I am concerned about this board taking action until we manage to resolve those. Unfortunately, I didn't get to this till this afternoon, otherwise I would have raised it earlier.
So you're saying it could be, the blue part could be the actual alley and the red part could be their property, or there's some
Just
shit.
about.
Is there,
But that moves, but that sort of moves further into the Currys, and that's the real problem.
well, here's the question. Is Lawn Avenue, is this street to the north in
Yeah,
the
it
plat? So,
I mean, it does
It could
appear
be.
like that, but then I don't understand why that there's this hang part east of the,
so it could have been replatted, right?
well, I couldn't find it in the.
So the narrow,
Well, what's their book and page on
so the
there?
narrow.
390, page 666.
ooh,
Lovely. Yeah. Sorry, throwing one more page on there. Yeah.
heck of a deed there.
This is 141.
Volume 390, page
It goes across.
aforementioned.
So I mean,
Well, but it lines up
yeah, it does.
It lines up with the Lawn Avenue.
But I don't understand why there's this part of property on, to the east of there.
Well, somebody could have sold that.
Well, but there's no, I couldn't find the record when I did the title search. That's the problem, that's my concern, is that I think that you should be allowed to vacate it, but I just want to make sure that when we record it, that we recorded it correctly.
Question procedure-wise, so when this board recommends vacation, it still requires action by city council, right?
Correct.
So
There is time.
someone could make a motion,
We could continue this 4 weeks to allow them to get with their surveyor, and we could put our heads together and figure that out. if you will.
I would propose an alternative, and that would be that we approve the vacation based on the law director's research.
Because I don't know that I necessarily care, even if it is somehow, some way on the Curry's property, based on the
Yeah.
plat, we're still gonna vacate it, right?
Right.
Yeah,
there's no utilities anywhere in
There's no
there.
utilities, there's no issues. Why would we make them come back?
Well,
Or
because
make
we
them back.
need, they need,
I thought about that, Tom.
we need to have a correct survey for whenever it's recorded for
But
the
I would,
vacation.
I would not, I would say yes, sir. But I don't think that affects our decision on vacation.
is this something then I think we can follow up administratively with?
That's what I'm thinking.
Leave that
Before
with,
it goes to council,
Yeah.
before it goes to city council, administration reviews that everything is correct.
I mean, I would
I
become,
think
I
what-
would be I think that would be, but we need
That's
to
fine.
actually get it out on the table before we really discuss it, so.
We're in our discussion.
Yes, before we, yeah, I know there's a little bit of flexibility.
Okay.
Okay, then barring that, Mr. Braun, is there any, would you have any other
No,
objections?
I just want to make sure that we record what's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Well, and for the record, I think you can throw out, as long as there could be a revised version of the Boynton and Hills edition in a plat book somewhere. We have those.
Yeah,
Have
but
layers of
the
plats.
deed should in fact then refer to the revised one, not to the original.
okay.
Maybe it's part of Fleaville.
Okay, all right. Well, at this point, we will close down the public discussion aspect of the meeting, and we have heard from our support staff, our team members, and so at this point, the chair will entertain a motion.
So I will make the motion that we approve the vacation based or pursuant to final administrative review.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for the approval based on the administrative review. At that point, it cannot go to council until it passes that administrative review. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, Mrs. Blankenhorn, will you call the roll?
Mayor Starr.
Yes.
Mr. Salyers.
Yes.
Mrs. Ellsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Hawkins.
Yes.
Mr. Swallow.
Yes.
Sorry, you don't get a vote. I can only take
Yes.
5.
Say it anyway.
Good effort, though. Good effort. Good hustle. Okay, it passes with the provision that it passes the administrative review. So you will be working with Mrs. Blankenhorn on this. She will kind of help guide you through the rest of that. Anybody else that, Lacey, you will need to hear from?
Well, I'll work with Rob.
We'll work with Rob. Okay. Very well. Okay. Does that sound like it's workable to you all? Okay. Very good. Well, is there any other business that needs to come before this commission? Before we send you back out into the rain? Okay, hearing none. We will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for adjournment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.
See, Rob, there's these lines are folded over each other up here. Yeah. And this changes width down, and that doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Something's
mean,
wrong
That would be
more
same
than just.
I mean,